Hello everyone and welcome back. This is the winners round semifinals matchup between Hiro and Prussian Prince. We're now looking from Hiro's perspective in blue as the Hojo. He chose the second map, which is Daisetsu Zen Basin, and his army is relatively unchanged from the last battle. A little bit of adjustments, no bows. He still has his matchlocks and a little less cavalry. We see two Great Guard crabbing way off in the trees over there. But other than that, pretty much the same. Got the katanas here in the middle, along with a couple Yari Ashigaru and Naginata monks. Meanwhile, over here in the red as the Mori, we have Prussian Prince, and he's bringing a very different setup. He's a master of builds here, and he has 4 Yari Ashigaru, elite rank 9 Yari Ashigaru. It's still a little less. I think with these Yari Spear Balls, you really need to invest a lot of money and have a really long and thick line, with maybe bringing like 6 to 8, but we'll see how this works out. He has 3 Bow Warrior monks to support. He's got 3 Naginata monks. He's got 1 Yari Ashigaru there in the back, and for cavalry, all we can see right now is this 1 Great Guard here. So we'll see if he tries to skirmish. If he can skirmish really well, which I think he can, as Hiro doesn't have any bows, and all of his cavalry, except this one, this katana cavalry here, are off on the side there. So we'll see if he can skirmish here and really pull the battle in his favor before the lines meet. I think that's what he's going to have to do to win, because these are elite Yari Ashigaru, but only 4 units. It's a little iffy, though he does have these reserves in Naginata monks. It's a risky build. I'm not going to say this is a bad build, definitely, having only 4 Yari Ashigaru, but it is risky, and he's going to have to really think about his monk placement and where he's going to put those to fill holes in his line as the Yari Ashigaru get cut through by the katanas. Also, these bow monks are going to be huge as well. Where is he shooting? Into the matchlocks. Again, not a very high priority target. Post-fixed matchlocks, I think I would rather have the Bow Warrior monks shooting into Katana Samurai or something like that, because matchlock's really not going to do that much damage. But then again, if they do manage to whittle through these Yari Ashigaru, it could pose a problem, because this line is fairly thin, and every Yari Ashigaru you lose, your line gets that much thinner. So maybe in this circumstance, actually is a pretty good target. Because if they can just sit here and skirmish with the Yari Ashigaru, both sides will get their lines eaten through, and I think that the numbers advantage is definitely in Hiro's favor, so not wanting to loot those Yari Ashigaru is a pretty good decision. So maybe I was a little hasty in judging that a bad situation. But let's take a look at the cavalry battle going on over here. Prussian Prince has brought his Great Guard over to try and counteract the cavalry for Hiro. Looks like it's going to work. He might just win this cavalry battle. The light cavalry was dismounted here for Hiro, but nothing doing, as Prussian Prince's Great Guard is at 20 and 26 men. Heroes are at 14 to 38, so it's very close here. It's anybody's game over here on the cavalry side, though Prussian Prince does have a little bit of a flanking advantage, as he's on either side of Hiro's units. So there might be just enough to push the battle in his favor. This Great Guard at 12 men is wavering, so if he can win here, he'd be free to capture the workshop, which would be huge. Getting that defensive bonus for his Yari Ashigaru spear line would just be absolutely huge. The farmhouse would be good as well, but nobody's capturing that on that side of the map, sadly. 26 to 16 Great Guard. Looks like Hiro will win this one. Yeah, there's the wavering. Looks like he will win, but at what cost? As all his cavalry's been chased off the field. Got the one very hurt Great Guard, which you need to get around the back of these Yari Ashigaru. And this map's actually going to play in Prussian Prince's favor, as these ridges here make a very narrow battlefield. And if you can't get around it with cavalry, he's going to have to run straight on into this Yari Ashigaru. So you know what? Maybe this was a very smart build by Prussian Prince. I've called him the Macro Master before. He's very good at just meticulously making his armies and bringing exactly what he needs to win. It's very impressive, and I think that's been his main strength here in this tournament. Arguably the best player in terms of macro, at least in my opinion, and it's showing in this one. How is he going to break through this Yari Ashigaru line? He's got to just shoot away at it with matchlocks, and they are making pretty good dents in this Yari Ashigaru line. This one's down to 90 men already. The ones in the middle, though, are pretty much untouched. This one's at 143, but for the most part, they're fine. Matchlocks are now wavering from the bow monks, and he actually has a pretty good target, because once these matchlocks are off the field, he's going to have to attack, because he can't just sit here and take these arrows. One bow monk is shooting into this Katana Samurai. Look at these, is that a matchlock samurai there that got routed? It was, yeah. So the 2 matchlock samurai for Hiro, they're both gone now. All he has left are melee troops. He's got to attack into this, and those bow monks really are a good way to accelerate the battle, because you cannot just sit there and let those bow monks hammer away at you. The most powerful archers in the game, and they will just tear through everything. This Katana Samurai here is down to 75 men. This one's at 92. This Yari Ashigaru is at 107. So Prussian Prince has all the time in the world to just whittle away at Hiro. He's got to make a seriously concerted attack here. He's got to go all in right now, because if he just sits here and let those bow warrior monks cut through him, it will not work out well for him. Map choice working very well in Prussian Prince's favor, knowing exactly what he was going up against and building an army around it. It's really quite impressive. It's sort of understated, the macro game of this. People like to focus on the micro, but bringing exactly the kind of army you need with the exact kind of support that you need and being able to use it well is probably the most important part of the game. The Great Guard that was almost routed for Hiro is coming around the rear now at 16 men, but not a whole lot he's going to be able to do, especially if Prussian Prince catches it. He does have his Naginata monks facing that direction, so it looks like he knows it's happening. Yari Ashigaru already gone. God, Samurai, just look at all these casualties that Hiro has taken from these bow monks. Really ended up being a good decision there for Prussian Prince, and he's just not going to be able to break through this wall. He's sort of reforming, but maybe just trying to punch a hole in this side and slip some units around it, which may be a pretty good attack, but he's just getting torn apart by those. If those bows weren't there, he could make a very patient attack and try and punch a hole in the side there and cut through and being able to attack from the rear, but those bows just really throwing a wrench in that plan. This Naginata monks of 20 men as they enter the battle, just absolutely tearing this army apart. Very well done here by Prussian Prince. And the Katana Cavalry does make his way around though, so if he can route this Yari Ashigaru unit, there's a big hole here for Hiro's units to flood through, but how many men does he have left? Not nearly as many as he started with. Here comes the Katana Cavalry trying to break this Yari Ashigaru. They're still in green morale at 80 men, but we'll see if this charge can change that. Nice charge into the Yari Ashigaru, down to 58 men, but they're still steady. That rank 9 really coming into play there, plus the general there to stand and fight. And just sort of individually attacking this Yari Ashigaru wall up front, maybe not the best idea. I think sticking with this plan to overwhelm this side might have been a good idea, but the Naginata monks are now going to come into play as the cavalry is no longer in a position to flank. They can come in and fill in the holes here. It looks like Prussian Prince is just going to hold this attack and stop it dead in its tracks. Katana Cavalry trying to get around again. Will they have enough room? Looks like they will. Prussian Prince just holding out very well. Yari Ashigaru is still fine at 96 men. This one's at 107. This one here is 85. Naginata monks coming in again for Prussian Prince. And there's the wavering. Looks like they're going to seal the deal here. No war cry as of yet. At least none that I saw. There may have been one earlier, but he feels like he doesn't need it at this point. Some fire arrows coming out from the bow warrior monks, going for maybe a last-ditch effort into the general, but this battle is pretty much lost for Hiro right now. This Prussian Prince makes a great hold. Again, bringing exactly the kind of army that he needs, knows what he needs, and supports it quite well with that bow monk action. Really put the pressure on Hiro. I think that's a good idea to have with the Yari Ashigaru spear wall, actually. Bringing a couple of bow monks will really put a lot of pressure on your opponent, and they just won't have the time to break through the line like I think Hiro wanted to. There's a mass wavering here for Hiro's force. Looks like there goes 1, 2 units routed. 3, and all that's left is the general once again making a last stand, but wavering at 30 men. In come the Yari Ashigaru, who have broken their spear wall and coming in to clean up. And they have broken, so Prussian Prince takes the semifinals match 2-0. I'll see you back on the main menu. And Prussian Prince showing great form, really proving that he deserves to be here in the winners round semifinals, taking that series 2-0 with two really pretty well designed armies. Definitely the second one I think was very good. The first one, I was a little surprised. I mean, maybe I just was looking at it wrong, but I did not think that army was going to work very well. At least not without a crazy amount of micro across that no-dachi line, but it did. And it paid off, and Prussian Prince gets that series 2-0. I guess there's really nothing more to say about that. Great match there by Prussian Prince, but Hiro not out of it yet, as he's just going down to the losers round bracket. Will maybe get a chance to get revenge as we're nearing the end of the tournament. I can't wait for the rest of the matches. Hope to see you there. Thanks for watching, everybody.